You can like the camera. So here, right here. I know better. No,
Did you close your eyes just now? You do?
now I get to sit here and go. Can't believe I just- Somewhere on the money, her horizon time. 7,000.
Mark, can you get that to work?
Call the meeting to order. This is the Hartford City Council meeting for December 14th, 2015. Please start the roll.
Okay, Mayor Campbell.
Here.
Hartman. Here. Monahan. Johnson.
Here.
And Nelson.
Here.
Did the camera get turned on? Thank you. Is there any additions to the agenda? If not, can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Motion by Scott. Second by Doyle. Any discussion? We'll vote. All in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Approve the minutes of previous meetings for 12/1/2015. Motion by Doyle. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Bill. Any discussion?
Yeah. Try this out. Please bear with me. I'm suffering from laryngitis. As far as the minutes are pertaining from 12/1, we would like to see added under the correspondence that Doyle read at the very end. Mark Brenneman asked the second time, is it signed by Growing Hartford? Councilman Johnson's response was, I will not share the name. I'm not going to give that person the satisfaction. I think those are the only two lines of the entire transcript that are not in the minutes. And I think they need to be in there.
I wasn't here for the meeting. Is there?
That's accurate.
That is accurate.
I listened to the tape and
Okay.
Is that a motion, Mark?
It's already a motion on the floor.
Okay.
You want to make a substitute motion?
I'll make a substitute motion to approve the minutes 12/1 with the following additions at the end of the email correspondence from Mark Brenneman stating, is it signed by Growing Hartford? Councilman Johnson saying, I will not share the name. I'm not going to give them personal satisfaction.
Second.
We have a substitute motion by Mark to add 2 lines. Second by Scott. Any discussion on that motion? If not, we'll vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Approved bills submitted for payment. Anybody have any bills submitted for payment?
Yes, there should be a list in your packets.
Thank you. Anybody like to make a motion to approve the bills?
I'll make a motion to approve bills as written.
Motion by Scott. Second. Second by Doyle. Discussion.
I have 2 questions. Craig, do we typically buy $1,800 worth of pool paint?
It's in,
It's in.
it arrived this morning.
So we ordered it and it just came in December?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, we had surplus in our budget, so we wanted to make sure we were covered for next year.
Okay. Second question. Vegetable oil for the sewer.
Yep.
What do we use vegetable oil in
The
sewer?
pumps use vegetable oil, because
Oh,
it's,
for lubrication?
yeah, yeah, 'cause it's biodegradable, it's not gonna contaminate everything, so.
Okay, thanks.
Any further questions or discussion on the bill submitted for payment? If not, we'll vote. Scott?
Yes.
Bill? Doyle? Mark?
Yeah.
Passes. Any visitors? Do we have any visitors on the agenda? Our first hearing is going to be for the 7:05 hearing, which is now to transfer the retail on-sale restaurant liquor license, RR 120101. Teresa?
Spike's Bar and Grill is in the process of being sold. And so Laura Mosbach with Mosbach Enterprises has applied to the city to transfer both her liquor license, and they have a retail, or an on-sale restaurant liquor license, and then a retail on-off-sale malt beverage license. She wants to transfer them from her, Mosbach Enterprises, to the new owners, which would be the Goat LLC. So we would need a motion to transfer those 2 licenses to the new owner. And then along with that, we'd also need a motion to, basically renew the on-sale restaurant liquor license, in the name of the Goat, because last week we renewed in the name of Mosbach Enterprises, so we would need 2 motions, one to transfer the 2 licenses to the Goat LLC, and one to basically renew the on-sale restaurant liquor license for the Goat LLC.
I move to transfer the retail and on-sale restaurant liquor license from Mosbach Enterprises to the Goat LLC.
Okay, got a motion?
Second.
Second by Scott. Any discussion? Now we'll vote. Mark?
Yeah.
Doyle?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
I'd like to make a second motion to renew the on-sale restaurant liquor license for the Goat LLC.
Motion by Doyle. Do we have a second? We have a second.
I'll second.
Second by Mark. Any discussion? Now we'll vote. Doyle?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Mark?
Yeah.
Okay. We have a few minutes here for the next one. anybody have a problem with doing the review and approval of the 2014 audit? We'll do that. Fill some time here. Karen, you wanna talk about that real quick?
The auditors got finished compiling our audit, and I believe Teresa provided a copy to you in your packet. We're gonna have a post-meeting with the auditors to go over the findings, but, everything came back similar to it has in years past, so. It's been filed with the Department of Legislative Audit and approved with them also, so.
Okay, anybody have any questions before we have a motion? We have a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve the audits from Quam and Berglund, PC, for the city of Hartford, year ending December 31, 2014.
Second.
Second by Mark. Any discussion on that? Okay, and we'll vote. Mark?
Yeah.
Scott?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Doyle?
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna do the 710 hearing to transfer the package of all-sale liquor license PO 22000. Teresa?
Okay, and with this transfer, the Harms Oil Company, who have the gas station at the intersection, they're gonna be going us through a name change, so it's going from Harms Oil Company to the Cup Services Inc. So as part of that name change, ownership will stay the same, but as part of that name change, they're gonna need to transfer the license out of the old name, out of old Harms Oil Company to Cup Services Inc. So they wanna transfer both their licenses, the off-sale liquor license and, the off-sale malt beverage license.
All right, do we have anyone would like to make a motion? For the transfer.
That's pretty bad when you got laryngitis, gotta make these motions. I move that, we transfer the package off-sale liquor license PO 22,000 and the retail on-off-sale malt beverage license RP 2699 from Harms Oil Company to Cup Service Incorporated.
Okay, motion by Mark,
I'll second it.
second by Doyle. Any discussion? Now we'll vote. Mark?
Yeah.
Scott?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Doyle?
Yes.
Okay. Old business. Review approval of the purchase agreement for lots 6, 7, and 8, block 4 of the original town of Hartford. Please.
In your packet, there is a proposed purchase agreement that Larry has drafted. This agreement basically transfers the 3 city lots at the corner of First and Main from the city of Hartford to the HADC. The HADC can then take those lots and directly sell them to the farmer's elevator. A couple of meetings ago, about 3 meetings ago, I guess now, the city accepted an offer for them, the price of $35,181. That's the price that's in the agreement. That's any closing cost, that's what will be returned to the city. Like I said, Larry has drafted it, sent it to Monty with the elevator, they've approved it. The HADC looked over it last Friday, they're okay with the language in it, and so I wanna run it by the council. If you're okay, we will get going and we can move forward then getting, the title insurance and closing on the property.
I have a question for you. This is a zone, community commercial area, I believe.
Yep.
And so, you indicated in your summary that, heavy industrial use would be permitted there. I guess I'm just wondering why in the use section of the agreement, the initial agreement, why we're stating that it is intended for industrial development or public purposes. I guess, it would seem to me that it would maybe be more appropriate to state that that is to be used for any commercial purpose.
Well, I think this mimics the codified law language that the city can transfer that land for industrial development or public purposes. So, you know, this is the zoning is kind of different than, you know, what the purchase agreement is, so. This language is out of codified law, so allows us to transfer to the development for expiration and transfer, so that's why I assume Larry's put it in that way.
Okay.
And we can control then through the zoning what gets erected there, you know. If you don't want a big grain building there, we can control that through zoning, it's two separate items.
Does anybody from HADC have any comment on this, Justin? No?
We reviewed it at our Friday morning meeting,
Okay.
so just kind of wait. We didn't do any more because of tonight's meeting.
We're looking for a motion to approve the purchase agreement.
I move to approve the purchase agreement for lot 678, block 4 of original town of Hartford. Do I need to state on the HDC or anything like that?
It's all laid out in the agreement.
Motion by Doyle to approve. Do we have a second? Second by Bill. Any discussion? Okay, we'll vote. Mark? Scott?
Yes.
Bill? Doyle? Okay. All passed. New business, the 2016 Fire Protection Service Agreement. Teresa?
This agreement is what we've had, since we built the new fire station, the city went into agreement with the fire department that basically, for the purpose of their loan, we would pay for fire protection services in the amount of $80,000, which they would use that money in turn to pay their loan for their building. We've had this agreement, the past 5 years now, I think, since it's been up. Nothing's changed with the wording except for the dates of the payment. All the other languages stay completely the same.
Okay, any questions for Teresa before a motion is heard?
Make a motion to approve the fire protection service agreement.
Motion by Mark to approve,
Second.
second by Bill. Discussion. The chief here now? Chief, any?
We got training tonight, so.
No, okay.
He's
He's right over here.
Was you?
Yeah.
It's been a training, I guess.
Chief, any comments or anything? No. Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll vote. Mark? Doyle?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
And we have a 2016 Minnehaha Sheriff contract. Teresa?
Same thing, this would be a contract that would cover, our police services for 2016. We go year by year. We contract with the Minnehaha County Sheriff's Department. We contract 40 hours of random patrol with them, and that's what this contract covers. Once again, the language has stayed the same as it has previous years. The only difference is the amount that we are paying out. It has increased slightly from last year, due to added expenses and costs in the Sheriff's Department, and the amount that it's increased to, though, that was figured in our 2016 budget. I knew that amount at that time, so we do have that amount budgeted. It's a difference of about $1,800.
I move to approve the Minnehaha Sheriff contract for 2016.
Motion by Doyle to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mark. Discussion? Is this what it normally goes up by every year, or is this,
It usually goes about, between 1,000 and 2,000 every year.
yeah?
They usually cite increased costs with, whether it be fuel costs or payroll or whatnot, just increased costs.
Okay. Any other discussions or questions? We'll vote. Scott?
Yes.
Mark?
Yeah.
Doyle?
Yeah.
Bill?
Yes.
Passes. 2016 engineering contract. Lisa?
Okay, and in your packet also, there is a contract from Stockwell Engineers, basically for services for 2016. This contract would cover anything that, miscellaneous services that they provide the city that aren't related to a specific project. So basically, reviewing plats, any concept plans, preliminary plans, this would cover. Just kind of the miscellaneous engineering services, like I said, that aren't tied to one particular project. We usually do separate engineering contracts for each major project that we do. Once again, the language in this contract is the same as it was last year. Nothing has changed as far as the language. The schedule of billing rates has increased slightly. It's roughly, I figured it was about 4% across the board. It would take a little bit. Otherwise, the rest of the language will stay completely the same.
Hey, John?
Hi. I could certainly comment on that.
Yes, you could, please.
Our annual contract, like Teresa said, is for miscellaneous services such as us attending meetings and reviewing plats and plans and things of that nature. And basically our rate increase is based on our cost of doing business in the last year. So that's really across the board is where we ended up with that. Our insurance and our payroll as well.
Okay.
This is the force account, correct?
Yep.
Entertain a motion to
I'll make
approve.
a motion to approve the 2016 engineering contract.
Motion by Mark to approve,
Second.
second by Scott. Discussion? Appreciate you showing up this year, John. I know you were.
You're welcome. I appreciate the business.
Any discussion? We'll vote. Bill?
Yes.
Doyle?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Hart?
Yeah.
Approved. Appointment of planning and zoning members for the 2016 to 2018 term. So at this time, one of the times where I get to appoint, or sometimes usually reappoint members to the planning and zoning. There's 3 members that are up. One member has decided not to continue. We appreciate her service, Mary Cunningham. Spent a lot of years on planning and zoning. How many years Mary was on planning and zoning? Mary here?
It's either 9 or 10.
9 or 10.
9 or 10.
Thank you for your service. So I'm gonna go through and do these one by one and ask the council for approval on these appointments. So I have Matt Kane, I'd like to reappoint for a 2-year term. We entertain a motion for that appointment.
Motion.
Motion by Scott. Second. Second by Doyle. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Okay. The next one would be, the reappointment would be Bob Bender. Bob's been on the planning and zoning for many, many years. Appreciate his time on there too, so entertain a motion to approve that appointment, reappointment. Motion by Doyle.
Second.
Second by Bill. Any discussion? We'll vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The next member, the new member that I'm gonna be looking at appointing is Rick Freemark.
I make anything else?
No, that's fine,
I'll
go
make
ahead.
motion to approve Robert Freemark for P and Z. That's a 2-year, for the 2-year term, right?
Yep, 2-year term, yeah.
Yep.
Second.
Motion by Scott, second by Bill. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. And then we're on to the discussion of YouTube video of the 12-1 County City Council meeting. Mark, do you want to have this on the agenda?
I asked for this to be placed on the agenda for the simple fact that I think it's incredibly damaging to Hartford. But the more I think about it, I wouldn't want to be a hypocrite. And in the future, I think the case could be made for some meetings to be damaging in other ways. So it is what it is. It happened. And I guess, I guess I'm not looking for any action on that, so.
Okay.
Karen, can I ask you a question? The last meeting was done near about 1/3 the length of the previous meeting. How did the procedure change? Have you had a chance to go through the movie maker and go through that process yet?
Yeah, it was a lot shorter, there was only one segment to do rather than,
You did get all of that in one segment?
yep.
Cool.
So
Okay.
to move it into Movie Maker took maybe 10 minutes and then another half hour to save. It still was the 8 hours to upload to
Right.
YouTube, but at least there was only one to
Segment.
do versus 3, so. So yeah, about a third of the time.
And I haven't looked at the website, but it's there right now.
It'll be there tomorrow.
Okay. Okay.
All right, is there any other discussion on that, or is we just gonna move on to the correspondence side, so. As we get into the correspondence here, I know, I've been contacted by Mr. Johnson to, he'd like to read a statement, and then Jeremy Manning, my understanding is that, he'd like to make a statement on behalf of Growing Hartford and the Hartford Business Owners. And Mark Monahan would also like to address, make a statement, I guess, as well, or something, so, Doyle, you have the floor.
Following the November 17th, 2015 council meeting, during which I had cast a tie-breaking vote to reject a mayoral recall petition, I have received approximately 24 emails, many of which were demanding my resignation from this council. Most of these individuals who sent those emails went beyond disagreeing with the decision I made at the November 17th meeting and have attacked me personally. One of the emails that I have received went far beyond a personal attack by denigrating both myself and my family and suggesting that physical harm to me was in order. Outraged and wanting the public to understand the kind of communications I had received, I elected to read this correspondence at the December 1st council meeting. The name on the signature block at the bottom of this correspondence was of a person with whom I am familiar with and who I'm aware is a member of Growing Hartford. I did not disclose the name of this individual, but when asked at the December 1st meeting, I did state that the author was a member of Growing Hartford. By Wednesday, December 2nd, it had become apparent that there was a question whether the correspondence had in fact been written by that individual whose name was printed on the signature block. I was requested by the city administrator to provide a copy to the city of what I had read. I did this on Thursday, December 3rd. Thereafter, I have deleted my copy of the correspondence. Since December 3rd, it appeared likely that the individual whose name was printed in the signature block was not the author. I have deleted all reference to that individual's name in the copy that I provided to the city administration, so as not to implicate that individual in a fabrication. Nevertheless, the copy of the correspondence that I have provided to the city administrator is precisely what I read at the December 1st meeting and was exactly what was sent to me and received by me via email. Now, I regret my reading of this correspondence has caused turmoil, not only in our community, but also within my family. It was not my intent. My intent was to shed light upon the personally disparaging nature of the communications that I have been receiving, and that have been written about me in the hopes of raising a level of discourse in Hartford.
Okay. Mr. Manning.
Mr. Mayor, Council, Councilman Johnson, members of the audience. On behalf of Growing Hartford, the Hartford business owners, and the Hartford residents, I'm speaking tonight in response to an email that was read by Doyle Johnson at the council meeting on December 1st. The email that Doyle read was quite disturbing. Everyone who heard it cringed at the thought that someone could have put those words together and sent them to another person. Before reading that email, he stated that it came from a prominent Hartford business person and a member of Growing Hartford. There were several irregularities surrounding that email and its source. There are even words from a known person embedded in that email without her prior knowledge. Doyle, on December 1st, you spoke with complete confidence that you knew the email was from a prominent Hartford business person and a member of Growing Hartford. Doyle, you and I spoke on the phone 3 times the day after you read this email. During our first conversation, you spoke with confidence that you knew who sent it, and you refused to give me a name. You did resort, however, to giving me clues. You told me that the person was male, not very outspoken, and had been at the November 17th council meeting, but not at the December 1st council meeting. You told me on the phone that if you did submit an email to the city, you would take the name off of it to protect the sender of the email. I asked you, so you mean you will alter it before submitting it? You said yes, I will take the name off of it. I guess that means yes, I will alter it. That conversation happened between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. on December 2nd. Doyle, when we spoke the second time on December 2nd in the early afternoon, you were flustered. You said that you had taken more time to review the email and something didn't look right. You weren't sure what had happened, but you felt possibly your email account had been hacked, or possibly Stephanie's email account had been hacked. You asked me if I knew a Jim, because the name on the email was Jim. The email you submitted to the city did not contain the name Jim. You finally submitted the email to the city on the morning of December 3rd, after multiple requests from Teresa, the city administrator, were ignored. I understand that the city attorney contacted you and told you you have to submit the email for the public record. Nearly 38 hours after reading it at the council meeting, you submitted an email that did not contain the name of a prominent Hartford business person. It did not contain a Jim. It only contained Joe Below. And it was from the email address extra8 goforme@gmail.com. The email Doyle read contained word for word the opening and closing paragraphs of Stephanie Olson-Bloth's email that was sent to Doyle Johnson on Thursday, November 19th at 12:53 p.m. Several hateful and disgusting things were added to her original words, but without question, 101 words from Stephanie's email were used in creating this email that Doyle received on Friday, November 20th at 9:41 a.m. You didn't create the email, you can't create the email that Doyle read without first having the email that Stephanie sent, less than 24 hours later. Stephanie's email was sent to Doyle with a blind carbon copy to Teresa Seidel, the city administrator. Stephanie hadn't shared that email with anyone else during that time, but Doyle, as you stated in our conversation on December 2nd, you forwarded Stephanie's email to others. During one of our 3 phone conversations on December 2nd, you told me that you had forwarded Stephanie's email to Mayor Campbell, Councilman Haugen, and possibly former Councilman Biergard and Bortman. Stephanie is so confident in the fact that she sent it to you, and only you, with a blind carbon copy to the city administrator, that she has gone on record with the Minnehaha County Sheriff's Department and legal counsel to discuss this fact. Stephanie is willing to have this explored by the best computer forensic teams in the region. We are not afraid to find out who sent this email and who it came from. We have a passion to find the truth and to find out who could have sent this. We want you to share that passion with us. It has always been our mission to bring the facts out to the public for them to see. We know that if there's a person in our group that is capable of sending such an email, we would want to part ways with them. We believe you would want the same. With all the information that has come forward, there are only a few people that this could have spread from. Anyone who had access to Stephanie's email. Right now, the people on that list are Councilman Johnson, Mayor Campbell, Councilman Haugen, along with Teresa Seidel and Stephanie Olson-Block. The reputation of Hartford, the Hartford business people, and growing Hartford have already been tarnished by the unfortunate reading and publishing of this email. For the protection of your reputations, the reputation of the city staff, and the protection of Hartford as a whole, are you willing to join us in finding that sender? Thank you. On behalf of Growing Hartford, Chairman Member. Attached, you'll see both emails.
Thank you, Ms. Manning. Mark.
Mark has asked me to read a statement on his
Okay.
behalf. Basically, the statement comes from Mark Monahan and Scott Nelson. And it reads, on December 1st, City Council President Doyle Johnson read the most vile and hateful words that we have ever heard in a public city council meeting. Had we known that Doyle was not going to state who wrote those words, or that the name on the email was Joe Below, extra8 goforme@gmail.com, we would have not allowed that correspondence to be read. In the near future, we will be working on a policy to address making public statements or reading correspondence, ensuring that the author or the person making the statement is given full credit in the meeting minutes. First and foremost, we would like to apologize to Doyle's son. Why he was invoked at the meeting is beyond comprehension. We would also like to apologize to Growing Hartford, Ward 2, city staff, every business owner and business professional in Hartford, and the Hometown Christmas Committee. Last but not least, we would like to apologize to every taxpayer in the city of Hartford for allowing what, in our opinion, was a fraudulent email to be read during a public meeting and wasting taxpayers' money in the days that followed to try and sort it out. Moving forward, we will not make that mistake again. Additionally, we wish to rescind our motion vote, formally apologizing to Doyle at the meeting on 12/1. The thought of him reading an email from Joe Below and then voting to formally apologize to himself is beyond our comprehension. As always, best regards, Mark Monahan, Scott Nelson.
Okay. Move into the city reports. What's that?
Are we not gonna take that?
What's that?
Are we not gonna take comment?
Does anybody want to have comment?
I'd like to know why I deleted. Mark Grinman, I'll stand up here. I'd like to know why it was deleted. After it was requested.
Thought it was the best course of action for personal reasons. I stand on the statement.
So how does that affect the correspondence that was read during the meeting? Larry? You read a letter in a meeting? Doesn't have to say who it's from?
The question is if something is read in a meeting, do you have to state who it's from? I don't think the city council has a policy. I think after this incident, you are probably going to draft a policy which will address that exact issue. I will tell you that we ask that the email be filed after the meeting and
Mr. Mayor, Tony Randall, may I speak, please? One statement I'd like to make, and that is working for a Fortune 500 multinational company, we are not allowed to delete emails if there's a question about something that would be going on with it. And as a councilman in my city, to delete an email when you know there's controversy around it was I guess in my mind at best, a very unfortunate decision, Mr. Johnson. Very unfortunate. And unfortunately, because you made that bad decision, you just opened up a whole bunch of people who now really would like to get to the bottom of why you would have eliminated that and deleted that email. Understand where you've gone here, sir. My other statement I wanted to make, I believe, Councilman Nelson and Monahan, in your statement, you asked to rescind the motion that you made.
I believe I said I wish I could.
I would ask that one of you, because you were on the prevailing side of that resolution, that one of you move to reconsider and eliminate that resolution that apologized to Councilman Johnson, especially considering the fact that he's now deleted the email in question, which just really raises some questions as to why any of us should be apologizing for what was read at the meeting. I'd appreciate if you guys would do that.
Is that even possible to do, Larry? Is that possible to do that?
I think you can make a motion that the city council withdraws this motion that we're
Apology. I'll make a motion to, having a hard time with the words. I will make a motion to remove.
What, let me help you. Your
I got
motion-
2 TV cameras on me, Larry. I'm locking up here.
Your motion is to rescind the previous action of the city council as it relates to the email read by Doyle Johnson to the city council on December 1st of 2015.
I can't remember all that.
Karen, do you have that? You have it?
I resolve that the city council rescind their action.
You need a motion to rescind.
I make a motion to rescind city council action on 12/1
As it relates to
as it relates to
the email read by
email
Doyle
correspondence
Johnson.
read by Doyle Johnson at the meeting. Cut that out of the tape, please.
Second.
Motion by Mark, second by Scott. Any discussion on that? Full vote? Mark?
Yeah.
Scott?
Yes.
Bill?
No.
Doyle?
I'm abstaining.
Okay. Dale's.
Kathleen Putman. My question is, Doyle, would you please give us the name that was on the original unedited email? You were very confident it was somebody within our community of Growing Hartford. You won't tell us the unedited name, so you're gonna stick with Joe Below? Okay, in that text, then, I would ask for you to apologize to every person you slammed and threw under the bus, knowing we do not have a Joe Below in Hartford, South Dakota. We do not have a Joe Below that is a prominent business owner. So with that, if you're gonna stick with Joe Below, you owe every single one of us who is affiliated with Growing Hartford an apology.
No.
No.
Mr. Johnson, I'm not asking you for your apology, I'm asking you for your resignation due to your lack of credibility.
Amen.
You know, before we go any further, I just wanna give, maybe it's a good time to have a little bit of information for going Hartford, and for people in this room, on how to conduct and how to approach the podium. I mean, obviously, there's an opportunity here to learn a little bit. I'm gonna set up something here real quick. So, give me a chance.
Mr. Mayor, while you're setting up, I'd just like to make a quick brief comment, if I may.
Sure.
I just want to apologize to, after this reading, a number of business owners have talked to me, not knowing, of course, what exactly, where they stood. One of the things that has a trickle-down effect, I think, from